looking at Romello height, you really can't miss him because he has a fantastic pass rush brother over there in Bailey.
Yeah.
Kind of made me a little mad too, man. You watch that Texas Tech film, they got that big pole in the film.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes height be on the other side of it. I'm like, hey, man, what y'all doing,
looking
dog?
around, what are we doing out there? Yeah.
What y'all doing? But, Brian, the more you watch Romello height, man.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. He's another one of those upfield, explode, long arms, good length. Now, whenever the actual length numbers, come out, me and Brian will come back and just elaborate on it. But his motor is ridiculous, Brian.
Yeah.
He's a relentless rusher. I think it's important to say that, Brian. Everybody's not a relentless rusher.
Right.
Some people kind of play with the hands and then go work a little bit, or they'll delay a rush. He's a relentless rusher. His closing speed to the quarterback is stupid. He got this inside spin move that he's working on, Brian.
Yeah.
And you just see him working on different moves just to see, can he improve it? Can he set this up different? And that makes me feel like, well, he's rushing with this pass rush plan. He has a counter just in case you kind of, deal with that or whatever. He's decent versus the run. I don't think he's bad versus the run, but he's not a guy that you got to take off the field. I love how he changes up the tempos of the rush, right?
There you go.
He changes up the damn tempos of the rush. Like it looks like he's going full speed already, but then he relentlessly does this thing over the edge, Brian. This is the one thing that really sold me on him. And he may end up being like a first round grade on somebody's board.
Sure.
I love to see what you look like versus other NFL talent. You see what I'm saying?
You watched him against Utah, didn't you?
So Texas Tech ain't got a whole bunch of talent that they going against, right?
Yeah.
But there's this one matchup. Go watch Utah.
Yeah, there you go.
And that'll be a good time to watch Bailey versus Fanu or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Brian BROADDUS, he beat the shit out of our guy Caleb Lomu, the left tackle.
The left tackle, Lomu, yeah.
He beat the piss out of Lomu. He had Lomu leaning all over the place,
scrambling
over his skis, falling down, lunging, not trusting his feet. And Lomu is a guy with great feet.
Yeah.
Lomu's a good athlete with great feet.
Yeah.
And Melo had him not trusting that. Somebody gonna ask us one day, well, VOCH, how do you grade some of these matchups with better guys, with better dudes? I'll tell you a story. One thing that kind of taught me this, Brian. Going back watching Chase Young. Chase Young go out there and beat everybody's ass, whoop the hell out of everybody.
Ohio State back in the day, yeah.
Rashawn Slater played for Northwestern.
Northwestern, sure
and
did.
hadn't played a bunch of good talent all year. He beat the hell out of them, but not a bunch of good talent all year. Rashawn Slater put hands on Chase Young.
Yeah.
And that made me go, all right, matchups versus dudes should weigh a little bit. It should mean something to me.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So watching Melo height versus another player, he might be drafted in the first or second round or something. I don't know. I got a third on Lomu on my board. But somebody may like him in the first or the second round versus good competition. Height put hands on him, and that means something to me. I like him a lot, Brian.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
I got a 2-1, by the way.
No, I'll tell you what. I think you, once again, you've nailed him. What I'd like to say, though, is I feel like that he's a guy that I watched him against Houston, too, and you're right about the Utah matchup, but I watched him against Houston as well, kind of an old Southwest Conference rival, now Big 12 rival. And his ability to walk the blocker back, the tackle, there was a couple of different times where they passed it on him. And he's not, as you mentioned, he's got that kind of effort and motor where he's not going to stay on blocks long. He's always working to get off blocks. But this one time he put his head down 240 pounds and just walked that tackle back into the quarterback there. So I was super impressed by that. I think he does a really good job of keeping those blockers' hands off him. And so, he's a guy that when now teams are going to look at this, VOCH, and you know this is going to happen. Yeah. Teams are going to look at this. They're going to say he's a little bit of an older guy. He's going to be 25 years old. Okay? He's been to 4 schools. He's been to Auburn, USC, Georgia Tech, and now Texas Tech. We got used to the older player a little bit because of COVID. Sure. If you remember, those COVID players were all getting 6 years, and then they were, but they're a little bit older. I would still draft this guy just because of everything you talked about him, the explosiveness, the effort, the relentless play, the way that he's able to get after the quarterback. This guy is he's a guy you absolutely should consider if you get down, if Green Bay's pick is a little bit later, he's a guy that'll absolutely be considered there in the first round.
Plus, Brian, like the older guys or whatever, they're a lot more developed and mature.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't mind the older player.
Right.
You know, if I'm drafting, I'm really looking for the help now. I don't want to have a 10-year conversation about you. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know what it's gonna look like in 8. I thought Michael was gonna be here forever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know what year 8 of Melo height is gonna look like in Dallas or whatever. Tell me about these next 4 years.
Yeah.
And in 4 years, he'd be 28 or 29 or whatever. You know what I mean? So I ain't worried about it. I would draft him with my 20th pick or 20 whatever pick.
Sure.